Yeah, he's gonna
Welcome,
introduce.
everyone, again to the Vinyl Community Gunkles. Here we are again to answer more of your questions. It's Ask Us Anything. Now, we've already answered so many questions, but we have even more to answer because you were so wonderful in asking so many awesome questions and a lot of various questions, and they were very interesting. And hopefully, our answers will be just as interesting.
Probably.
Thank you for joining us for part 2. We are the Vinyl Community Gunkles. I am Robert Fithen, along with Mike from Hubtunes, Richard from Calvin Wazoo, and ladies and gentlemen, the man who, when asked by the phone company if he has DSL, replied, "Yes, one of my best traits," Craig from Craig's Vinyl Plethora.
What?
Yeah.
One of my best.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
Are we done yet?
I am so confused.
So I've never been to Amsterdam, but I am drinking Amsterdam vodka.
Well, that's what you should
And
do.
it's really going down a little too smooth. Whoa.
Amsterdam makes a good gin, too.
Amsterdam is a song by Van Halen from their Balance album.
Yeah.
Bibi has songs for each of us. Like the song she asked me what I think about is Saunders Ferry Lane by Sammy Smith. I was not familiar with that song, but I really like the whoa music in the background. But the lyrics remind me of where my mother's from. I don't know where Saunders is, but reminds me of Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, because it's all about the cold and it's getting colder and the snow's coming and all that. And Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan has a ferry and it has Mackinac Island and all of that. So it really has that kind of feel to it. I actually liked it. She kind of sounds a little bit like Brenda Lee. Later Brenda Lee, like Brenda Lee as an older woman, not the sweet nothing, not that Brenda Lee. But yeah, I liked it. I definitely would listen to that a few more times. I would make that part of like a mix that just randomly comes up. Thank you for introducing me to that song.
Yes, and then Bibi asked me about the song Tenderness of Wolves by Coil. And Coil is a band, well, a project, I guess you could say, more than a band, that I do enjoy and have quite a few records. I don't have the record that this song is from, so I was unfamiliar with it, and I did give a listen, and I do really like it. I would love to get, it's from their debut record, Scatology, from 1984. They're really, they're a forward group in a way they're in your face, but they're not in your face, because there's these two gay guys, they're partners that created this, and they talk about being gay in their songs, and they were doing this in the 80s, and in a very homophobic climate. In Great Britain, it was very homophobic here in the United States. So they're really important pioneers in that respect. They're both dead now. But yeah, Tenderness of Wolves, I really want to get that record, Scatology, but I don't want to pay $300 for it.
Yeah, I used to have it on CD. It's a good record. It's really cool.
Yeah. So, Mike,
Oh, is it going to be me? Okay.
Well, you're the next one in line here. So
I didn't realize it went in line. Dana Gillespie, Weren't Born a Man. I took 3 minutes to listen to it. And
It's a 7-minute song, but I took 3.
No. I like it. It's got a good groove. I would actually like to hear the whole record, to be honest. She seems pretty groovy. She did some stuff with Bowie. Bowie produced it. We just learned 3 minutes ago.
3 minutes ago.
And no, I actually like it. It's got that 70 mid 70s kind of country vibe to it. It's interesting. Definitely.
And she says to me, Craig, what do you think of the song Love Isn't Free by Dolly Parton? Love Isn't Free was on Dolly's 1972 album, Touch Your Woman, Touch Your Woman, Touch Your Woman.
Everything could have worked on the best
right.
whorehouse in Texas with a title like that.
It could have. But everything's gonna be all right if you touch your woman. But we ain't talking about touch your woman. We are talking about love isn't free. That is tragic. This girl gets her man is like, we're gonna have some good times. I'm finding that was a theme. Dolly sang a lot of songs about girls getting knocked up and then being shamed.
She had so many great songs in those early albums.
Love
Just
isn't
incredible.
free.
Too bad we can't ever do like an album review or something of that.
I know that would be nice to do that. She did not write this song. Joe Babcock did, but yeah, the girl gets kind of she's shamed and gets she gets knocked up, and love is not free because you get knocked up, you get the baby, and man, he leaves. He's like, I don't want no baby.
At least she doesn't throw herself and her baby over a bridge in this song like she does in another one.
That's another one. Or then the baby dies at the end. She's got a lot of really tragic songs, but again, she did not write this particular one, but she has written a lot of tragic. She wrote the bridge, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have what is that other one?
Yeah, because the quote that Porter Wagner told her, "You got to stop writing songs like this, or you're not going to get anywhere."
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. Who got further there?
Well, she did stop writing songs like that, and did get. Maybe she did take his advice.
Down from Dover. That was the other one I was thinking of.
Yeah. Well, that's the one where the
the baby dies at the end.
Yeah.
Because she knew Daddy wasn't coming.
Yeah, she knew he wasn't coming down from Dover. That's her way of saying she knew.
From Dover.
So Cliff also would like a system tour of our vinyl playing systems. He's a self-confessed gearhead audiophile, so always interested in other people's. I mean, they really they want a tour. They don't want to hear about it. Hang on here. I have to take this into another room.
Okay, show us.
Little field trip with the.
I like field trips.
This was the aforementioned P3 right with the Ortophon Bronze. And the Ortophon Bronze is great. I do not recommend the black, though. That goes beyond that. There's 4 steps. There's the red, the blue, the bronze, and the black. The black is apparently very fussy, and if you...
I'm hearing about 50% of what you say.
Doing a little bit of... Well, here's my JBLs. So they're like literally this tall.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's quite a towering speaker. Okay, so what I was saying was the Ortophon comes in 4 colors, which is 4 stages. The red, the blue, the bronze, and the black. I have the bronze. I don't want to upgrade to the black because everything I've heard about the black is it's very, very touchy. And if you do the least little wrong thing, it gets thrown out of line, and it's very, very, it's too precise. It's too delicate.
I don't know what any of that means.
So stick with the bronze.
Okay. I bronze. I'm sticking with the bronze. I got it.
Stick with the bronze. Even though it looks kind of like the red. It looks like a faded red. It's orange. It's like a translucent orange. It's definitely not bronze.
Mine's down there and I'm not. Yeah, it's too much work to move my computer.
I just like to show off my impressive equipment.
Yes. Well, mine's not
an exhibitionist.
So, I could show you my old baby favorites in the closet.
I have some artwork that someone made for me. Would you like to see that?
And the next one.
It's an artist's rendering.
And it's very lovely.
Paul wants to know what's the most we've ever paid for a record.
Including shipping?
I paid $400 for a Beatles Butcher Shop cover.
Okay, so I haven't paid anything that high. Close to get kind of half of it. I was also I got these years ago, and the fun thing about it is that 4 out of the 5 that I paid over $200 for each have all been reissued. So, but they think this was the first one. This is the because it was not released in the U.S. The Bedtime Stories, her 1994 album. It was the only one of hers I was missing at the time. And so yeah, about 200 I paid for that. But this is a European pressing. Same thing with these two, Janet and Velvet Rope. They were the only two that I was missing. So yeah, a couple hundred for those. Also original UK pressings.
The black and white one. I love the cover of that. She's gorgeous. A great cover. Yeah.
Yeah. This is, I go back and forth, but these are probably my two favorite albums of hers. But this one kind of sometimes, it depends on my mood. This one, actually, this was only about $150, but it was actually sealed. So I'm the only person that's ever actually played it. So this was their 2000 album. Also has been reissued. So this has been reissued, but this is the original cover that was deleted or banned or whatever because, and I've talked about this album before, but yeah, around 200 I paid for this, The Beautiful South, because shipping was like $30 on this. But this is the original cover, and it was later changed because it looked too much like RCA and they were mad. But this is the first album with Jackie on it that I have everything that has been released on vinyl by The Beautiful South, but three other albums have not. So, yeah, I would not spend money like that now, but yeah, when I did that, it was also way before 10, 15 years ago probably was when I bought those. I need a lot more. But I live in a city that it costs a lot more to live.
This is the record I spent the most on. This is Zappa in New York. This is the original recalled that has the song Punky's Whips on it. I had to order it from a seller in Germany. With shipping, I still got it for $160, which I thought was a great deal because 2 weeks before I was bidding on it on eBay and my maximum bid was $225, but I got outbid. And then this is a close second. No means no, wrong. About $120 I paid for this for OG pressing with all the original root inserts. This is such a great album.
So it's strange that would come up. A question would come up right after the equipment question because I'm the opposite on this one. I was the one just bragging about my expensive, impressive equipment, and now I'm the exact opposite with the records. I don't buy expensive records. I don't know what the most I paid is, but my whole thing is finding records at bargains. That's my whole deal. If I wanted to buy expensive ones, I could do that, but I just don't. That's not why I buy. I love finding things in the wild. I love buying full collections and finding treasures in there. I don't really go and pay over $100 for a record. I know if I did that, I would hear my mother's voice in my ear, like, Robert James, you paid over $100 for some record that you could have streamed. Think of all the things you could have bought with that money. You could, blah, blah, blah. I've gotten sort of expensive records as gifts from people like Terry, like the Betty Wright first pressing of Nasty Gal was probably like $80 or something like that, or 90, and things like that. But I think the most I probably paid, or probably in the top 5 most I paid, would have been Record Store Day, when I purposely splurged those maybe 3 years I did this just to be part of it. Just, like I was saying in the other video, I either am 0 or 100. I either don't do Record Store Day at all, or if I do, I'm there in line. I want the full experience, or I don't want any of it. I don't do halfway. And so one of the years I wanted the full experiences, I got a double album, and I think I paid like $50 for this or more. So probably one of the most expensive records I've bought for myself is this stupid ass thing on Record Store Day. Ironically enough.
You fell for it.
Yeah, big time.
Oh,
Hook, line,
boy.
sinker.
The cover would steer
And that
me
would be
away from
another
it.
reason why I don't buy expensive records, because when I do, shit like that happens. I put them on and they're god awful.
I mean,
But yeah, if I wanted to buy expensive
Yeah, I
records,
don't
I'd
know.
have that Kaleidoscope record
Yeah.
right now. It's only $160 $70, which is about what you guys are talking about, you know.
Yeah.
$200, $150, you know. But
I
that's not. I would not be able to play the. I would just hear my mother, and I would be like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna take it back.
There were holes though, and that's what I can't, like, if it's been released on vinyl and I have everything else and I'm missing, that's where it was just like. And the Madonna one, it was a bidding war. I thought I was going to get it for like $40, and this person just kept bidding, and I'm like,
it was the heat of the moment.
The heat of the moment, and I'm just like, and then I was like, oh crap, I just won this for $140.
I think somebody just did that with a Pet Sounds record that I sold on eBay, and then they scratched it and sent it back. Yeah, good times.
Oh, for real?
Even with my cover.
Did you take pictures and stuff before you sent it?
Oh yeah, doesn't matter.
Yeah. Oh wow.
This was scratched. Paid $2 for it. I'm fucking near mint. Original mono pressing, Scranton pressing. I'd never seen a Pet Sounds or anything from 1966 looking so mint. It went up to $180 on eBay. And I'm like, there's no way. And sure enough, this arrived with the spine ripped and a big scratch on it. No, it didn't. But how do you prove it? Anyway.
Yeah.
Did we say that was Paul's question from?
That was Paul. Paul from As It Should Be, who does the absolute best silent Paul Stanley impersonation I have ever seen in my life.
I don't think I've seen.
All he has to do is like he did it in one video where he just strikes this Paul Stanley pose, and I swear to God, it was one of the few times I've literally been alone in the house and laughed out loud. I mean. That was absolutely hilarious and perfect. A silent, I mean, because everybody does the, oh man, I want to come down and sing to you, you know, and whatever the Paul Stanley says on stage. But the silent Paul Stanley pose, nobody touches Paul from As It Should Be.
I mean, he's the best. Well, they all are. We love our As It Should Be.
Austin wants to know if you could take only one album with you to a deserted island, which one would you choose?
See, the thing is...
Question to answer.
The thing is, Austin, there is there... So if I'm on a deserted island, I mean, there's obviously probably not going to be electricity or...
And that's why you take
have a turntable.
This album. This is the album I would take on a deserted island. Because you do this.
Right.
Oh, yeah. That's okay. Good job. You're getting your son. Yeah.
No, you send up a signal.
Oh, my signal. You are very smart. Robert Fitton is smart.
And they're like, you cannot do that. That's a double album. Double albums don't count. Okay, fine. I would choose this one.
Oh, maybe I got my...
It's like when we had this new general manager at the radio station, and he's deciding to call each of us in and ask us these ridiculous, like, psychological questions. If you were deserted on an island with 3 people, who would you choose? The President of the United States, the smartest doctor in the world, and the best hunter in the world. You choose the best hunter because you know you're always going to have food. You choose the best doctor because you know you're not going to sick. You choose the President of the United States because you know you're definitely going to get rescued. Done. What does this look like? It looks like an ink blot. Did you order those? Did you order ink blots and those showed up? Because it looks like an ink blot. Anyway, that's what I would take on a deserted island.
Probably be Rubber Soul.
Oh, Mike.
Oh, Mike. I mean, if I took an album, I don't know. Barbra Streisand, the Broadway album. That's not what I would take.
I just remember the movie Defending Your Life when somebody gives Albert Brooks a new CD player in his car, and that's the first thing he puts in is Barbra Streisand, the Broadway album. It's like, oh my God, dude, come on.
I mean, I like it, but I don't need to have it on a deserted island.
I don't think I've ever actually heard it, except the song, whatever song he plays in the movie.
I think I would take the Boston album, the debut, because then I know I wouldn't have to listen to it.
You would take
take something you want to look at.
Yeah.
Take the Rolling Stones' Satanic Majesties so you can work that maze that is really not a real maze.
Yeah.
I did that to my brother's album when I was a kid, and boy, was he pissed.
Oh, he was not happy with
I hear
you.
the maze. It's not a real maze. It doesn't. You can't do it.
Right. There's the right.
Yeah.
That's what I figured out. This maze sucks, man, because there's no. You're always trapped. Well,
Flaming Groove wants to know: do you ever watch YouTube videos of live shows? And by that, I don't think he means live videos like this or whatever. It's not live, but I think he means like concerts.
Yeah.
Oh
no, I don't.
no, I thought.
No, he meant concerts because there was a lot more after that, but
Oh, okay.
that I guess I didn't put
I
on
thought
there.
like
But,
memes.
yeah. No, he mean.
I
he
mean, I
means,
watch
like,
recordings of
and
concerts,
stuff.
but I don't watch them live.
Here, let me.
Yeah, I watch recorded ones. I don't necessarily watch them live, but yeah, I mean, and it's so great because I always try to say make people's stupidity work for you. And instead of going to a concert and getting pissed off at all the people standing there with their cameras up in your face, then just watch the camera from at home. Fuck it. And I've seen Elton John's farewell tour like 3 times. I've seen, all these different concerts because of people in their cameras.
I watched Lollapalooza, Lollapalooza, or what's the other? The Coachella. I've
Yeah.
watched, but those aren't on YouTube, are they? I don't know what I watch them on. But
I mean, every time there's
it.
somebody in concert that I didn't get to go to, I'd watch it like 2 days. 2 days later, it'd be on YouTube.
Yeah.
And sometimes
Yeah.
the whole concert with 4 different angles, depending on what channel you're watching.
Cool.
It's incredible.
Who wants to sit there and hold their phone or camera through the
Somebody
whole
does, and more power to them because I'm sitting there watching the video they made. Better than being
Yeah, I
at the
watched
concert
it.
and being behind somebody and
Yeah.
Fucking like somebody's actually at the show holding up their camera.
They're holding
whole
their camera
time.
the whole damn show. Yeah.
That shaky ass shit that sounds like
shaky ass shit, son. This is 2023.
I've
You
seen
Yeah,
got
I mean,
fucking
I
digital
don't do the
stereo
whole
sound. You got
concert.
people with selfie sticks. That shit looks like it was produced by HBO.
I don't do
Some
a
of it
whole
does,
concert,
yeah.
but I will do a whole song. That.
Well, I watched some of that.
I've
But
done
I
a whole.
also-
Me and Terry have sat there and watched whole concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do a whole concert. I'm going to enjoy the show, but I will do a couple songs for sure.
Yeah. No. Who's next?
Marianne Nowinski wants to know, what is your favorite album released so far this year?
Oh, this
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
This year?
This year.
I know.
I have a couple, but one actually. Okay, it was actually released last year, but it was released on vinyl this year, so I'm using it. And that is My Kid Brother, and this is called Happy, Mad, Weird, Sad. And it's just a fun little ditty, and it's happy, and it's mad, and it's weird, and it's sad. So the title is perfect. And what is the frickin' Spilt Salt was the first song I heard, and I loved it, and I think it's a great record. So, yeah. My Kid Brother.
Mine is Bill Callahan's Reality. I love the baritone. He's former lead singer of Smog. I love his solo, his minimalist style. I just love this record. There's a lot of great records out this year already.
Yeah, My Pussy Belongs to Daddy was re-released just last week, so there's that.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a re-release.
This is Ryuichi Sakamoto's last record that he recorded just before he died of cancer. It's an awesome, awesome record. And that same year, earlier, he did this soundtrack to a new anime series on Netflix called Exception. This is really, really cool stuff. So yeah, to me, these are by far the best records released this
The
year.
other one is this. This is Cowboy Junkies, Such Ferocious Beauty.
I want to hear. Is that good? That's good. Then, because I want to get that.
So good.
Yeah.
It's all music?
Huh?
It's all new music?
Yeah, it's their brand new record that came out this year. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's not a cover album like their last one. Yeah, no, it is so good. It has some like psychedelic Like, it's kind of rocking compared to some of their other records. It's really, 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 really great. And Margot is in fine form.
Oh, she's got such a wonderful voice.
Which do you think has generally better sound quality, original pressings or remastered reissues?
Depends.
Yeah, it depends on the recording.
Depends.
Overall, though, I generally go for. I don't necessarily have to have an original first pressing. Absolutely, it was a hot stamper, and but I do prefer records from the original vinyl era as opposed to ones that have come out in the last 15 years because of the issues that we just discussed.
Right, pressing quality is just fucking hit or miss, and
I mean,
you can have the
there
best
are
engineered album around, and then it goes, and then they press it, and then it comes out like shit.
Richard, when was the last time you returned a record? Do you return records a lot, or?
No, I don't, because to me, on that issue, most stores, at least my experience is, if it's unplayable, they'll replace it.
Yeah.
But if it plays, you
Yeah.
know,
I haven't returned a record in years. Years.
This one boasts that it's, just like Richard was saying, and Kevin Gray, I think he mentioned somebody else, Bernie Grundman, but same thing.
Yeah.
CA Quintet, obscure psych horror rock from the late 60s. To get an original of this is $1,000 or whatever. They just re-released this on Sundays, and the mastering is fine, but the pressing is just, for like
yeah.
40 seconds in the middle of like the second song, all of a sudden it sounds like your stylus is fucked up.
Right.
And it's not like that on the recording.
Yeah.
And it's just squitching, and it's the record. And I go on Discogs and I look, and sure enough, everybody's got the same problem. And it's, if they're going to be releasing brand new stuff like that for $30, then I will
It
just
should
take
be
my chances and, try to find it in the wild. And if I don't, I'll just keep listening to Jim Croce. Fine with me.
It's good.
It's better than spending $30 on something that's going to sound like shit,
Mhm.
What do we got next?
Well, maybe you would listen to Dr. Hook in that case, but all right.
Dr. Hook.
So these are all from Marianne. Do you
Freaking
store
at the
your
Freakers
records?
Ball.
Do you store your records in the jacket or behind the jacket?
I think you know the answer to that question, Marianne,
Yeah.
as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. In the jacket.
I'm a combination of both. It depends. I just so like the colored vinyl, just because it's pretty. So colored vinyl, I put in a sleeve, and it's
Ladies,
behind.
if you go over to a guy's house and he's got the record behind the jacket,
Gay.
well, he's going to want to take the Hopefully
Yeah.
you didn't have Mexican because he's going to want to take that.
Oh ho!
Oh,
Oh
Jesus.
ho!
What the fuck are you drinking, Fiven?
Oh my God.
Fucking
Drink
vodka, and I never drink vodka.
Drink some more. Ugh.
Not a
Oh, I
Mexican
tell you
person,
what, that's
Mexican food.
The little
Yeah.
inhibitor in your
I
brain.
knew
is
what you
gone.
meant. Yeah.
It's like a live episode. This is great.
I never drink vodka. They're going to want to... That's just bizarre. I mean, they make records with a slit in them for a reason. It's like somebody went... Oh, missed!
Yeah.
I just like being able to take my record out without taking it out of the sleeve.
That's
God,
Yeah,
one
especially
thing that's
if it's an
very
older
nice.
record.
Man,
With this, when the sleeve is in really delicate condition, you don't want to be taking that sleeve out all the time.
Let me tell you what happened, Marianne. Let me explain it to you. Come on, Marianne. To
Marianne.
quote the Four Seasons or Donny Osmond.
Hello, Marianne.
People started buying records through the mail. And when you ship a record through the mail, generally people will put the record behind the sleeve so it doesn't get jostled in the mail and split the seam.
that doesn't
People would receive these records and think, oh, the cool kids are putting the record behind the sleeve. I'm going to do that too, because I'm going to be one of them cool kids. Not realizing it's only a shipping thing.
This is
It's
called
a
a priori reasoning.
record shipped outside of the sleeve.
What happened?
She has another question.
I I thought that'd make it move a little quicker.
Name one album that you think every record collector should own.
Oh, Mary Ann.
Oh, Mary Ann.
That question is like...
I did a short about that.
We're not doing that.
Look at my shorts.
Well,
I only have 3.
We can.
No, I did a short about that. I only made like 3 shorts in my life, and one of the for YouTube, and one of the shorts was, I think that the record everybody should have in their collection is the record that they want. I don't subscribe to that thing about you have to have this record in your collection. You absolutely, if you don't like Dark Side of the Moon and you don't want Dark Side of the Moon, you shouldn't have Dark Side of the Moon.
Any Led Zeppelin record, right?
Right. We live in an age where you can stream
everything. If you don't
everything.
like Captain Beefheart, Trout Mask Replica, you should not have that in your collection.
Well, I said and don't want it. See, there's a difference between not liking it and having it, because some people just like to bitch about records they don't like and use them in YouTube videos. I said if you don't want the record, you shouldn't have the record. But yeah, you shouldn't feel like you pressured it, because I see these lists like 10 records every serious record collector has to own.
I don't want anything on those lists.
That's such a Madison Avenue kind of way of thinking, it's all advertising. It's all sales.
Yeah.
What's one thing that makes your record collection unique and different from other record collections you've seen?
It's mine.
The memories that go with it,
Yeah, what's connected to them. But
yeah,
I just said plethora because I don't really know. I mean, that's why my channel. There's so much that is connected to it that is emotional and painstakingly. I mean, I know.
Yeah, just like what we were just talking about. There are a lot of people who buy records because they think they should own them.
Yeah.
Rather than buying records. And I've seen collections like that.
I agree, Richard. Yeah.
Where the label is a little bit off and it's down. You can see a little black there. And this is like, I've had this since I was 9 years old. And I don't know of there's another Magical Mystery Tour out there like that. So this would be my own special Magical Mystery Tour. Sure, it's on a Purple Capital 1978 reissue that's probably worth $6. But it's the one I've always had. And the label is just a little bit off.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that story about the guy with the cup. He meets the king or whatever, and I have everything you could ever have, and well, your cup doesn't have a crack in it. Whatever that moral. Anyway, okay, there's a story. Anyway.
Yeah, this story, about a man named Maury.
But
somebody
knows what I'm talking about. The guy with the.
I like your next question. How do you feel about unofficial pressings and bootlegs? Because I hear people talk about this all the time. Some people will say that I'll never buy a bootleg because I think, first of all, if you're buying a used record, the musical artist isn't getting any money from that. The store is getting all the money, but I own a couple bootlegs and I have a hard drive that is filled with nothing but Frank Zappa bootlegs. So personally I don't, but I'm not selling them. Okay, I think that's kind of sometimes the issue, because there were bootleg companies, there were record labels that were bootleg record labels that were producing, and those were the ones that the artists were really pissed about.
Well, I'm not really into bootleg records, but I used to really be a movie nut. And the way I see the bootleg records for other people is the way I see bootleg movies for myself back 20 years ago when I was super into movies. If the record labels are too fucking stupid to release it themselves and somebody wants it, they're going to buy that bootleg and more power to them. I saw so many great movies that movie studios were too stupid to officially release on DVD or VHS or whatever. And so thankfully, somebody had a bootleg of it and I got to see the movie. Otherwise, I would have never been able to see the movie. And with the thing with records and movies, as soon as somebody wises up and releases an official version of it, that's how you get people to stop buying the bootleg. As soon as you release the official version, nobody wants the bootleg. So I'm all about it. If you want the bootleg and there's no official pressing, guess that's what you're going to buy, That's just
Mhm.
stupidity of the license holders for not putting it on vinyl.
Yeah, I have no problem with like bootlegs and stuff, but I don't buy unofficial releases of stuff that has already been officially released. Like
Yeah, yeah.
the Goal and like all those.
Well,
Well, I don't buy that shit. But if it's something that's not released officially already, yeah, no.
I have an unofficial Tool release because Tool would not reissue the album. Then, if you wanted to get the album, you had to pay $500 for it.
Without
And then
Anima.
I found an unofficial release for, I think it was like $60. And shit, I bought it because I
And
wanted
it's
to
like
have
you were
that
saying, the
album.
$500 isn't even going to go to Tool because it's the second market.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
What is your favorite album and your least favorite album by your favorite artist?
No, that's kind of easy for me.
I don't know who my favorite artist is. I mean, it's probably the Beatles or something easy like that. But
I have
favorite
so
album is a
many,
White Album. Least favorite is Yellow Submarine.
yeah. I have so many. I call so many people my favorite band, my favorite artist, my favorite. But I think it's in genres, or I think it's during certain times of years or whatever. But I just went because I could go with Dolly. I could go, so I went a little teeny tiny different. But this is somebody I talk about a lot. But Jenny Lewis's Rabbit Fur Coat, which was her debut. That is my favorite. And then my least.
She cut the ear off of Rose Nyland's teddy bear.
Oh my God! Shut up. And my least favorite is her most recent album, Joy All, which is not good.
I'm having into it.
I like 3 songs on it, but and the title track is terrible.
Yeah, it really is.
No, and I still don't understand what that.
Yeah,
this song is horrible, and for me to say that about Jenny, but I feel like I've invested a lot of years in her. Same thing with Dolly, that I have the right. I really don't have the right, but
yeah, I mean, if I've always said an opinion is an entitlement, and you have to. You've invested enough, not only time, energy, but let's face it, money, to where you're entitled to that opinion. Yeah. Me, I'm just some asshole who keeps bringing up something she did as a child actress. I have no entitlement to an opinion on Jenny Lewis.
But you make things humorous by
I'm just being snarky, but I really don't have
an
opinion on that. Like you could ask me who's my opinion on who's going to be the MVP for the basketball or something. I wouldn't be entitled to that opinion.
Oh, I don't know no sports balls, but
yeah,
no.
Favorite Frank Zappa album.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
Burt Weenie Sandwich.
That's not a good album.
Oh, it is brilliant.
That is terrible. That's not even isn't that like a outtakes?
No.
Oh. I'm thinking of Weasel's Rip.
That cover was quite frightening.
This is the worst one.
Well, that's your favorite.
Terrible.
Yeah.
This is terrible.
The best one is We're in it for the money.
This is awful.
The best one is the one that
we're only in it for the money.
Yeah.
Is the best one.
That's what we listened to, right? Yeah, that was the only one. Yeah.
The question was not what was the best one. What was your favorite?
Oh, yeah. Okay. And the final question, until we go back to Chris's questions that we missed.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
Well, and I got a text question because she forgot to leave something up. Lisa Tedesco asked me something, but
it's a private question. Mike didn't get to answer the question though.
Okay.
Oh, about
my favorite. Yankee.
Oh, forget it was best that he didn't answer the question.
You just don't like this band because his first band broke up and they're from your hometown, and then he formed another band and moved to a different city and now is from that city.
And I hung up on his ass.
Yeah.
He hung up on his ass.
Wilco record. Definitely my least favorite Wilco record. They named an album called Wilco the Album.
I don't even know that. Wow.
And with a
Never even saw that
camel, a
before.
giant
Oh, I like camels though. Camels are lovely, especially on album covers and
Absolutely.
And
Artwork.
cigarette packs.
It's awesome.
yeah, and cigarette packs. But are they going to have a outside luncheon? Is that what the camels?
Wilco is your favorite band?
Yeah, probably my favorite. They are having a luncheon, Craig.
Oh my gosh! Magically they appeared as a luncheon. You're magical.
Probably
Can't find.
my favorite band working. Yeah.
Huh? I've never
that
heard.
would be
of
a good
it
question.
before.
What's your favorite band? Well, they would probably be the Rolling Stones. I'm such a boring person when it comes to that shit.
Yeah, you kind
Oh, there's a lot.
I mean, it's like
of-
the Beatles. I mean, wow, that's going out on a ledge.
Her last question is: how do you organize your record collection?
I do jazz separate, and then I do everything else is all in
Oh, okay.
alphabetically.
I kind of do that. I mean, jazz is separate and children's is separate.
Because you have
Jazz.
Jazz is nowhere.
And no, I mean, there's little things that I don't have, like jazz, children's, the same kind of stuff. Soundtracks are separate. Various artists are separate because it doesn't really matter what the album is called.
and
Then country is separate, which is a huge section. And then everything else, whether it's R&B, disco, rock, pop, all of that is lumped together alphabetically. But here's the question: into the alphabet, what about artists? Are they chronological? Mine are chronological.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I have
Oh yeah.
the bulk of my collection is 60s and 70s. And then I have a section for the 80s. And then I have a section for the 90s. And then I have a section for everything in the 2000s. I have a jazz section. I have a Frank Zappa section. I have a country and folk section. And I have a blues section. And I have a punk section. And I have a soul and R&B section. So I do a lot of sections.
I was told about a video that somebody had about what to do when you run out of room, and their response was to put some motherfucking boxes on the floor or some horse shit. What you can do
I
is,
have boxes
like
on the
you were
floor.
saying, you have a Frank Zappa section. Like Mike might have a David Bowie, a whole, I would have like a Beatles thing. And then Craig would have like the chick with the scissors. You could take like a thing and put it like where my jukebox is, like not really in the middle of the floor, but kind of away from the things, and put it like a record store has it, to where they're not on their spine, but they're like up like this. And you could have like a David Bowie, I don't know what you'd call that, like not a pedestal or whatever, but you could have a David Bowie like thing there where it was more like a record store where it was
I don't have enough
facing.
room in my apartment to do that.
Well, it would be a small thing. I mean, it wouldn't be as big as a jukebox. But,
like that.
right, just like that. That's the way you could economize. You could use more space if you run out of space to put everything in IKEA
Yeah.
shelves.
Yeah.
You could take like your most popular, your favorite artists that you have the most records of, and kind of spotlight them in, kind of off.
I
off
still
the
have
side
to
of
have
the room.
space, and I don't have any.
Yeah, it's alphabetically, but then I do my comps, then I do my soundtracks, and then my Christmas albums are separate.
Yeah, Christmas
Oh,
is
and
separate.
my 12-inch singles. If I have
My 12-inch
Yeah.
singles, I separate those two.
Yeah, I do too.
unless
I
I
don't do that. I put them
have
with the albums.
Yeah. well, if I have like like The Cure or people like that where I have their that's in with the catalog. But if I have 12-inch singles by artists that I have nothing else by them, it's in a different section. So
And I also got an electronic and dance music section too.
yeah, I don't genre anything. Okay.
I've just found that when you from years ago, whenever you try to like break things down in too many genres, then you get just way too many crossovers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I mean, even trying to break things between country and then everything else, you still have like, where do you put John Denver?
Where do you put Can?
Where do you put Linda Ronstadt? You know, is she country? Is she?
Where do you put
know,
Dolly? Because she had some pop times.
Well, she had. I mean, she's obviously country, but I mean, you know,
Yeah.
it's like
Had her pop crossover. Like
you start having so many crossovers, so that's why I just have all the R&B, pop, rock, metal, you know, all that stuff is in one, just alphabetical. Okay, so that takes us. Oh wait, Craig has a special question that was texted to him.
So Lisa, because she forgot, so she just texted me. So first off, her husband wants to know what our favorite frozen pizza is. His name is Tony.
Oh my god, I almost did a video one time, but then I would be a hypocrite, so I didn't do it. About going to Walmart and getting picking up stuff, and I was going to do a whole thing with a frozen pizza, because a frozen pizza is the same as a record because it comes in a square thing, but it's a round thing in there, and then pull it out and talk about how it was an original shrink and all this stuff, but it was a frozen pizza anyway. What now?
And what's our favorite frozen pizza, and how would we doctor it up?
Terry does that all the time. He won't just serve a pizza frozen. He puts more meat on it, more pepperoni, and more cheese and all that.
Yeah. There, I just found one. I don't remember what the brand is.
How you don't have a favorite pizza because you have different pizza for different occasions, different moods. I like it all.
I don't buy frozen pizza.
I buy frozen pizza. I buy fresh pizza. We have delivered pizza. We have restaurant pizzas. I mean, there's so much. Wow. We were talking about earlier how, I have such a small palate. But I like pizza, though. So I have 28 different pizzas that I like. So I don't have a favorite. They're all awesome.
I like thin crust, and that's about it because I don't like pizza crust. I especially.
Oh, my God. I like thin crust, thick crust, stuffed crust.
Tony, there is a pizza at Trader Joe's. It is $5.99. It's a single serving. It's like 10-inch pizza. It is garlic, pesto, and fresh mozzarella. It is the best.
Oh my god!
It is
not pesto. Ew!
I just want to lick Mike's mouth when he says that. It sounds so good.
What? Are we almost done?
No.
That sounded so good. The way you described that. Ironically, there's one pizza I don't like, and that's St. Louis style pizza. That fucking Provel fake cheese shit. I don't like that at all.
I don't like Chicago style pizza.
I love Chicago style pizza.
Chicago deep dish pizza. It's a fucking casserole.
I hate.
Yeah, I don't like.
It's a delicious casserole.
Okay.
Better.
And then what would be your dream concert opening act and headliner?
Impossible.
I'm assuming they have to. Is this somebody that has to actually?
No, it's a dream. It's a dream.
Hendrix
so
or
it
something
could be somebody that's dead.
My dream would be to go into a random bar on Beale Street and just be blown away by somebody I've never even heard of. It's just some blind blues guy sitting there singing the blues and just have the time of my life. He doesn't even have to be blind.
That actually happened to me one night. I walked
too.
bar on Beale.
Bar
on Beale Street, tiny little place, and there was a blues guy just wailing away.
Yeah.
We sat there for hours watching this dude. I have no idea who the fuck he was. It was great. It was great.
Does anybody else, it's like, how many fucking overblown superstars can you see?
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm too jaded for that.
I would have loved to have seen Etta James. So I'm just gonna throw this: Nina Simone and Etta James together.
Oh my God, Big Mama! What's her? Not Big Mama.
Oh, Big Mama Thornton. Yes, Big Mama.
No, I didn't mean her. Coco Taylor. That's who I meant.
Yeah.
Who? Oh, Coco. Yeah, Coco. But Big Mama would be good. Coco Taylor with Big Mama.
I'd like to see Nina Simone with David Bowie.
Oh,
yeah, that would be interesting.
That would be interesting.
But then he'd come out and do some 9 Inch Nails shit. Craig would leave.
Craig would leave.
David Bowie was the reason that her career got revived.
We'd have to track him down. We'd be worried
he
about
gave her
Craig all
Wild
night.
in the Wind.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we have these left, and that's going back to Chris's.
We have
Mhm.
more?
Yeah,
There's
we just have
two more.
We have
We
one
missed
more page.
two.
Dear
Yeah.
age.
Who's your favorite
You-
member, in quotes, of the VC currently
Well, we
residing
already
in
said
northern
that.
Utah? I think for me, just speaking for me, that would be Chris. I think his last name is Burt.
At the CBCD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he
Yeah,
changes his name
Yeah,
all
he
the time.
changes
but
it
yeah.
constantly, but
I mean,
yeah.
there's really no competition. He's
There's-
just
No. I
towering
mean,
above
in
everyone
northern
else.
Utah, yeah, I mean, maybe if, like, I don't know, Donny Osmond was doing a vinyl channel,
I would still pick
And
Chris, over
I
Don
would-
Osmond.
I
can
don't
honestly say
know.
that.
Chris, you, Donny Osmond, I mean, I'd have a toss up there, but,
This
and
is a really good question to end on.
yeah.
Have you ever been tempted to ban someone from commenting on your videos?
Yeah. Only you, Chris. No, I mean, no, nobody, no, never.
Absolutely. Because that's the great thing about YouTube is that you're in control. If you think somebody's a jerk, just don't watch them.
Yeah.
You can click,
All right.
don't recommend channel. The three dots. And then that's the great thing about YouTube is if you don't want somebody in your life, you don't have to have them there. It's not like the workplace. It's not like your family, where you kind of have to deal with some people that are an eye roll.
You don't even.
If you don't want to watch people on YouTube, you can curate your YouTube. You can to where those people aren't in your sphere anymore. So, yeah, I mean, and the same thing with people commenting on your videos. I mean, if somebody wants to comment on my videos and say something like, "Hey, just so you know, it was so and so that played guitar on that, not so and so." That's fine. You're correcting something. I say, "Oh, okay, yeah, you're right."
Yeah.
That's fine. Hey, your video cuts off on the end. Oh, okay. Wow, I didn't know that. Something's wrong. I need to re-upload it. That's fine. But you're an asshole. Fuck you. You know what? I don't need that person in my life. Click done.
Right.
Black
need
person
them in my
done.
life.
I move on with my life. That's what's great
Don't
about
even have
YouTube.
to respond to them. Just
Don't even have to respond. Click.
yeah.
For
I
watching.
want to become pen pals with them.
Right. And I was talking about this with somebody and they were like, "Well, I believe in freedom of speech, and let somebody freedom of speech. If so, you're telling me if somebody went by your house and spray painted "you're an asshole" on the side of your house, you'd leave it up there because of freedom of speech? No, you just delete, move on.
Yeah.
You know what
So,
I
yeah.
believe? I believe that children are the future. Teach them
I
well.
believe
Let
I
them
can
lead
fly.
the way. And I believe that fifth and can
I
fly.
believe I will save the day.
EMF had a song called "I Believe."
I don't know. I just like that children are my future. They're not.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That was
okay.
originally intended for Muhammad Ali. Yeah, he's the
Okay.
greatest. That was from the movie The Greatest Love of All.
Oh.
Or that was from the movie The Greatest originally. I can't remember who did it though. Who sang that? In the comments. I'll just put it up here
Below.
on the text.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so that takes care of your questions. Hopefully
Yeah,
we
thank
answered
you.
them to
Yeah.
your satisfaction. Thanks for everybody who asked a question.
Yes, thank you.
That was fun.
We love you long time.
And
Yeah,
still
we'll do
coming
it
up, we've
again.
got all kinds of things to entertain you with, like the Robbie Krieger.
Bobby Lee's.
The Robbie Kriegers.
Yeah.
The Bobby Brady's.
The Bobby Gentry's coming up. Also, the tops and bottoms for the year 1995, and will, for some reason, review the album from the New Radicals.
I'm out of here.
Oh, Mikey.
And we've got our artists' top fives for The Who. It's all on the way. Thank you so much for asking those questions. And
We appreciate
we
you.
are the Vinyl
Live from
Community
New
Chronicles.
Amsterdam.
Yeah.
What?
The vodka.
Yeah,
is-
who are you? Oh, wait, wow, that's almost gone. Mr. Fitton. Okay. You
yes.
are.
Robert Fitton, along with.
Hey, Richard at Calvin Wazoo.
Craig, I'm normally the really drunk one. Vinyl Plethora. That's me.
Mike from Uptunes.
Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, we'll talk to you again soon.
We will.